How to not suck at talking to a woman. This is something that so many of us struggle with. So many of us have this issue around how do we connect fully? How do we bring this great version of ourselves forward? How do we just talk without feeling distress, without feeling tension, without feeling that we're fucking up, that we're making mistakes, that we're not speaking clearly? I think it's important to ask why you think you suck. Why do you think you suck at speaking to a woman? Why do you think you suck at playing that dating game? Where does that come from? Where does that idea come from? Where does that insecurity come from? Where does that belief come from? I'm going to give you today a 6-step process to success when it comes to openly speaking to women. Men, listen really clearly. You're not damaged, you're not broken, it's not that you're not smart enough, it's not that you're not good enough, it's not that you're not attractive enough, it's not that you don't have the skills to communicate. It's that something within you is telling you you're not good enough, and that's not the truth. Here it is. Are you bringing stuff from the past into your present? Are you bringing aspects of yourself into the present that aren't really you, but you think they're you? It's someone else's voice. Voices, values, belief systems that you've picked up along the way that have told you you're not good enough. You're not smart enough. You're not articulate enough. You don't have the savviness to speak openly. And there's something else at play here. We spend too much time making it about ourselves. We get caught up in how other people are perceiving us, and we get stuck in that. And then we try to be perfect. We try to say the perfect thing. We try to say everything that we think they need to hear in order for them to like us. What if the objective wasn't for them to like us? What if the objective was just to connect authentically, openly and clearly with another human being? What if the objective was to be present, to learn about someone, and to just express your truth, to communicate with another human being? What is actually going on in your mind when you're speaking to a beautiful woman that you're courting? Are you scared of being rejected? Are you scared of being humiliated? Are you scared of being told that, hey, you're not my type? Are you scared of being told that, don't really want to speak to you, or hey, I'm already in a relationship? What are you scared of? And can you face that fear and meet it? Let's go into this 6-step process for success. Number 1, be honest with who you are and what you want. If you're expressing yourself and what you like and what you dislike and what your values are and what you want out of this particular relationship, whether it's something long-term and emotional and substantial, or whether it's a casual encounter, or whether it's just friendship, whatever it is that you want, if that isn't met by the other person, then guess what? You're not in alignment in that moment in time. And that's not a bad thing. It doesn't mean that you're not good enough, doesn't mean that you're not attractive enough, and that you're not interesting enough. What it means is that in that moment in time, you're both not aligned with the same thing, the same idea of wanting to be in that space. And that's it. Number 2, ask questions, and ask lots of questions. We often get stuck in speaking a great deal about ourselves, and whilst there needs to be a balance there, absolutely, also don't be embarrassed and don't be shy to ask a lot of questions. Ask questions that matter. Ask questions that are interesting to you about the other person. Let them tell you more about who they are, and then in response, you can express parts of who you are in the world as well. Don't always make it about sex, even if that is your objective, even if you are in that space where all you want is casual sex and casual sexual intimacy. There's nothing wrong with that, but don't make it only about that. It's not that a woman doesn't want sex, of course she does. And when we really get to it, it's not only sex that we want, it's something else that we want as well. It's intimacy, it's connection, it's to be seen, it's to experiment and experience. It's not always just about sex. Understand that when we're speaking to the feminine needs warmth, the feminine needs nurturing. And so part of that foreplay, if you like, or that nurturing is expressing parts of who you are outside of just sexual intimacy. Expressing the attractive parts of you that are outside of your physicality. And so it doesn't mean, when I say outside, it doesn't mean that it's separate to, it means that it's a part of outside of sexual intimacy and sexual union. Number 4, actually listen. When you're courting, when you're in that dating process, when you are talking to a woman, actually listen. Don't think about what you're going to say next. Don't listen to think about a response that you think they want to hear. No. Actually listen. This will change your entire body, the way you lean in, the way you physically are present to what this woman is expressing. Be open to that, but listen to what she's communicating and actually saying. And actually saying through her body and through her non-verbal cues as well. So be present. Really, really be present. This changes your whole physiology. Lean in. Number 5, lean into the conversation, lean into the moment, lean into the woman. Obviously, don't invade her personal space. And be mindful of your physical posture. Are you slouched over, or is your spine lengthened? Are you gazing into her eyes, or are you darting around looking at everybody else? Are you concerned with her, or are you focused on what you're doing tomorrow or what you did yesterday? All of this shows, and this body language and this presence that you hold and bring into a relationship is so powerful. Can you hold your gaze? The longer that you can hold your gaze with a woman will be an indicator of how attentive you are to her and to her needs and to the dynamic during sexual union. And a woman knows this consciously and or unconsciously. She knows this. So be present, fully be present. And number 6, stop thinking about what she's thinking about and start focusing on the momentary present dance. Be present. If you begin to panic, if you think the conversation isn't going where you want it to go or where you think it needs to go, that's okay. That's not the end of the world. Here it is. If that's happening and you're panicking and you're starting to stress or worry about the direction of the conversation, come back to presence. Come back to your breath. Breathe deeply. Even place a hand on your heart and just breathe deeply with that. This will immediately bring your attention to your heart space, activate your emotional centers, and help you be grounded. The deep breathing will help calm your nervous system down. And what will happen is you'll become more attentive to the moment, to every moment as it passes. Now, if your mind is scattering, begin to focus on something on her. Maybe the way her lips are moving when she speaks. Maybe the patterns on her dress or her clothing. Maybe the way her hands move when she communicates. Pay attention to aspects of her that are communicating to you. Come back to the present. If you apply these 6 steps, which are super, super simple, by the way, you will evolve and you will improve in the way that you communicate and you talk and you connect with other women, and you won't suck so much at it. And if you think you suck, maybe it's not you that sucks. Maybe it's the voices in your head that are sucking. Power and blessings to you, people. I'll see you again soon.